name's Jayne. I'm with Moshville Times, and I'm joined by the vocalist of Vola, who is.
Asger,
Oh,
hello.
hello. There we go. We're good. Okay, so as we were just saying, you are currently on the tour bus.
Yes,
You were touring the UK. Are you still touring the UK? Are you still
we just came back to the mainland
nice?
earlier today, so now we're in
Oh,
Luxembourg.
oh, have you just done a gig today, or was it just a travel day?
It's we're gonna do a gig later today. Yeah,
Oh, exciting. How much
yes.
preparation do you put in for your gigs beforehand? Is it kind of just like now you've already done a few days, can you just switch on and you're like, right, let's go?
Well, it has become easier, I think, because in the beginning of the tour, I have a lot of thoughts about like the new songs we play, for
Mm.
example, if I play them well enough, and I
Oh,
think more about what to say in between the songs.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, I'm a bit more peaceful about that
Oh,
now
nice.
because I've done it
Yeah.
uh, a few times now.
Nice.
um, so, but yeah, like I still think about it, and I need my time like alone before the show
Oh.
to sort of visualize what will happen.
Yeah, I've
And
heard
yeah,
quite a few vocalists like don't speak to anyone like leading up to the show. Are you similar to that? Like more so for the voice so you don't like work
yeah,
your voice too hard, but are you in that same boat?
like if I can sit quietly and speak with someone, it's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, not too much of of like talking loudly.
Mm.
That wouldn't be good.
No, no.
But yeah, it's my voice is holding up pretty well.
Nice.
It's mostly like if I get a cold or something
Mm.
that it will be problematic. But if I get like a good amount of sleep each night, it's
Oh.
I'm usually good.
Aw. The vocalists are like the little princess, aren't they, of the band? You've just gotta no one
Just
touched
need
them.
my sleep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How is it touring in the winter? Is it quite hectic, or do you prefer touring in the winter?
It's I think it's very nice. It's a good contrast to like summer festivals, which have their own unique vibe.
Mm.
Um, and this is cool. We have a nice bus,
Oh, nice.
and yeah, I have brought a lot of warm clothes because I like going for walks also.
Oh,
So if I have the
nice.
time, I'll go out in the cities we're in and just explore a bit.
Oh, that's good that you have time
Uh,
to explore though. That's good.
yeah, I like to feel the context of the show,
Oh,
so I don't just see the venue.
yeah,
I think it's easier to create memories from the
yeah.
place we're in
Nice.
if I see something more. So so yeah, it's cold, but lots of warm clothes, and I'm good.
Nice. Aw, that's nice. Have you got like a favorite place that you've visited? You know, like doing some touristy stuff? Does anywhere stick out for you for this tour in
uh,
particular?
yeah, I have a soft spot for Paris, definitely,
Oh,
because yeah, it's just such a cozy city, I
oh,
think, to walk around in. There's always something nice to look at, and there's always a nice vibe to sort of absorb
oh,
while
nice.
you walk around. So it's a very generous city, I would say.
Mm.
It gives you a lot if you just walk around.
Yeah. Oh, nice. So I'll ask you questions you know about the tour, and also you obviously have your newest album. We'll discuss that a bit. I know you've already done interviews for your newest album, so I watched some. I did research to make sure I'm not just asking the same questions everyone else has asked.
I can take it. It's all right.
So for this tour in particular, do you have a favorite song that's on your new set list with this new album?
Um, well, they've all been fun to play. I think all of the new songs they have their different vibes. Like "Break My Lying Tongue," for example, is
Mm,
very energetic. So for
nice,
that one, I always look forward to just jumping around on stage.
nice.
And yeah, "Bleed Out"
Mm,
has these very heavy parts.
mm,
Um, and yeah, it feels really good to headbang to
yeah,
those.
nice.
And "We Will Not Disband" feels like a song that really where we really connect with the audience.
Oh.
So yeah, they each have their own sort of good qualities, I
Mm.
think.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is there a song? So this is kind of a spoiler if any fans are watching this, in the future. But you know how
Yes.
bands always have the songs that will forever remain on the set list. They're not going anywhere. They could be a few
Yeah.
years old. What is the song for you guys that will never leave the set list? It's always gonna be there, no matter how many times I see you.
Yeah. Well, I would have a hard time imagining a set without straight lines.
Yes.
Um, that always feels like the peak of the show
Yeah. That's yeah.
because people just they jump around and they sing
Oh,
along a lot to that one.
straight
Um,
lines, never leaving the set
so
list.
it's hard to imagine at this point at least.
Yeah, nice, nice. And you guys recently announced, I'm pretty sure, that you have an exciting festival in the UK next year. That being
True.
Download. Are you excited?
Yes.
How much prep do you guys have to do for the festivals? Is it just same set list? You just cut a few songs?
Well, that's a good question. It's yeah, for these shows, it's very much about presenting the new
Mm,
album, like for the tours. And I think festivals are a bit more about presenting the best from your catalog.
mm,
So yeah, I think we will have to recreate the set list a bit for those.
nice.
But of course, it will have some emphasis on the new
Mm,
album.
nice. Are you gonna stay
But
there
yeah,
for all the days? Are you gonna be there for the entire weekend, or are
um,
you guys quite tight with time? Will it have to just be?
it would be awesome to stay.
Mm,
Like we haven't looked into the logistics yet,
yeah.
but like if there's time, I enjoy like going around and listening to
Okay.
other stuff on the festival too.
Nice. Is there a
So
band you want to
yeah,
check out, or have you not really looked at much of the
yeah.
lineup yet?
Can you
Just
remind
you
me
guys.
about the headliners because I
Headliners
can't
are
remember?
Green Day,
Yeah.
Korn, Sleep Token.
Okay. Well, big Corn fan, so
Nice,
I would
nice.
like to see them.
Yeah, nice, nice.
The others are great as well, but yeah, Corn have a special place in my heart.
Aww. Is there a band like outside of Download that you really want to see live that you haven't managed to catch yet?
That's a good question. Um, it's not a band, but I would love to see Billie Eilish live, for example.
Ah, nice. Yeah, I get that. I get
Uh,
that.
yeah,
I get that.
I really like her stuff.
Oh,
Yeah, so
yeah.
that's I will attend her show at some point.
I'd have loved to have seen her if she was like playing smaller gigs, but she's always at
Yes,
stadiums now, isn't she? She's at that level. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. That's been an amazing career
it
for
has.
sure.
It has.
Yeah,
I
it has
remember
really
what
exploded.
was it called? It was something like "Don't Smile at Me." That was my first
Yeah,
album, I guess, of Billie Eilish, even though it wasn't like a full studio album or whatever. It was just
yeah,
bangers.
yeah, yeah. It's good stuff. Yeah, I remember hearing Bury a Friend, and I was
Ah,
just
yeah,
blown away about
yeah,
like the mix of genres in it and
yeah.
like the darkness
Mm,
it contains. I think it was
yeah.
really inspiring.
Something I always say, even though no one ever asked me, is that I don't think rock's not emo anymore. I think pop just became emo. Like, there's so many
Yes.
sad pop songs now that
Yeah.
are just within that category. But
Yeah. True.
yes, so questions about your album.
Yeah.
Particularly, I've noticed in recent years, this trend of synthy sort of electronic elements and then a heavy ass breakdown. And that's something you
Yeah.
guys have been doing for quite a while. Do you remember where your influences were for that kind of style of music?
Yeah. I think it's our inspirations that come together
Hmm.
in a strange way that which creates that sound. Um, like I'm a big fan of Soilwork, for example,
Mm.
and In Flames, and yeah, they have a lot of keyboard
Mm.
layers. Um, so I've always appreciated how that can like expand the sound.
Mm,
Um, and like we're obviously big fans of Meshuggah
of course,
also.
of course.
Um, so we if we can get just a little bit of that heaviness into our
Yeah.
sound, we get excited.
Oh.
So yeah, it's just the mix of what has inspired us throughout the
Mm.
years, um, that that comes out that way.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Speaking of In Flames, they featured on one of the songs, didn't they? Cannibal.
Yeah,
I watched an interview during my research where you mentioned how you really wanted a vocalist who could do those heavy screams, who could do like those
yeah.
brutal screams that you can't do. How has it been for you, kind of trying to get your voice to reach that level of, harsh vocals and trying to even it out, especially on this tour?
Yeah, yeah, it's been a journey, I would say. Like in the beginning, I couldn't do it at all,
Mm.
and then I started to sing along to Soilwork songs and Meshuggah songs, and tried to figure out what they were doing. And that
Mm.
was before there were any YouTube
Yeah.
tutorials. I don't know. Now there are like tons of videos on how to
Yeah.
scream. But I just tried to emulate what I
Mm.
heard them doing, and slowly a sound came to me.
Nice.
Um, so what I think I can do, like pretty okay now, is to do
Yeah.
some like it's more. I feel it feels more like shouting in a
Oh
way
yeah, yeah.
than screaming. Um, but I think it feels good to do,
Mm.
and yeah, there is more of that on the new album.
Nice, nice.
But for those very distorted screams, it was nice to be able to take Anders
Yeah.
from In Flames uh, into the
Mm.
song and let him do his thing,
Yeah.
because I can't do that.
Nice. So, like, as obviously you write your songs as well. So, as a writer, in a way, you can write, the heavy things, but does it hold you back then with songs when you can't do it yourself? Or now are you kind of at the point where you're like, well, I can't do it, but let's get this guy to come in and do it?
Well, it's yeah, I've definitely written for my clean voice
Mm.
mostly, it seems, um, and for some effects, screams here and there.
Mm.
But yeah, it felt fresh on this album to try to incorporate those shouts
Yeah.
a bit more. And I can imagine maybe more of that in the future.
Ooh.
But like the clean vocals are still my default setting, I
Yeah.
would say, and I think that's what is like online in the back of my head
Yeah.
when I write, and also when the other guys write. So, but yeah, let's see what happens in the future.
So, Vola Deathcore album next. That's.
Yes, exactly. Only Cookie Monster vocals.
Nice, nice. So I was actually checking out Spotify as well, and do you know which song has the most plays on Spotify?
I think is it is it Straight Lines?
It is Straight Lines. It's got
Yeah,
5.5 million plays, which is crazy. And then
that's
of
nice.
this new album, do you know which one's the most popular from this new album? Because I was checking that
I
out
think
too.
the most streamed right now is Cannibal, right? Isn't that number one?
So
But
Cannibal
I know
is up
it doesn't
there.
have the most plays maybe, but I think it's number one.
At the minute, it is like
Yeah,
the most trending
yeah,
one.
yeah,
But the song currently that's got the most plays is Paper Wolf,
yeah. Makes
which
sense.
has like just 100,000 more. So I do think Cannibal is probably gonna
Yeah, yeah.
overtake it.
It's been out a longer time. Fable. Yeah.
Yeah. So exciting, exciting. You like
Yes.
I always kind of judge like the popularity of songs and bands, particularly with Spotify for the younger
Yeah.
generation.
Yeah,
And the numbers that you guys are pulling in for this younger generation is amazing and it's incredible. Would you say that's more your demographic? Is like the younger? Like, do you think your genre attracts more of the younger metal fans? If you guys describe yourselves as metal, as
yeah. I think our main um, audience is like people our age,
mm,
so people in their 30s. But yeah, it seems we have a like I see many younger people in the
mm,
audience also at our gigs. Um, and I think it's I don't know, it's they uh, they connect with some of the elements in our
mm,
music. Might be the heaviness, might be the like the more emotional stuff.
mm,
It's a really good question, but like there are also like what do you say, a more mature audience there
yeah,
that have maybe are more to the prog side,
yeah,
uh, who listen to like Dream Theater
mm,
and stuff like that. So it seems like a very broad spectrum.
yeah,
But yeah, it
nice.
would be curious to ask people actually in different ages what it is that they connect with in our music.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's very interesting because I think as well, metal nowadays is so diverse.
Yeah.
People kind of throw the term metalcore around, but there's like you'll listen to one metalcore band and they're completely different to another metalcore band. You know,
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
and it's definitely like interesting to see like the overlap of fans between them. So,
Yeah.
is there a song from this current album that you think is criminally underplayed that you think deserves way more attention?
Well, it's might be a bit too early to say. So yeah, obviously, like the singles have got more
Mm,
most attention up until this point. So I just hope people like recognize the non singles
yeah.
and
Is there a particular
uh,
one you have that's a favorite that hasn't been released as a single?
um, well, I'm really happy about all of them. I think
Oh,
like the last song, Stray, is a nice ending to the album.
nice, nice.
It has this yeah ending theme
Oh,
vibe. I think like uh, I think for some songs it's hard to imagine something coming after it,
mm,
um, because it sort of pulls all the threads together, and
yeah,
I think that that song has that quality.
mm, mm.
Um, so I hope people listen all the way to the end, so they get to
Oh, do you think that's
that.
like the best way to experience the album is from the first to the last,
Yeah,
all the way through? Yeah,
it's not like a classic concept album,
no,
but we think a lot about the sequence of the songs,
mm,
uh, so that it should have a dynamic that's exciting to listen to.
mm,
So I hope people listen all the way through, but I also do think that the songs work. They also work individually. I think it's
nice.
they're not dependent on each other in the way that they can be on a concept
Mm,
album.
mm. Would you describe this as a concept album? Is there a kind of thought process that went behind it, or is it almost like you've arranged the track list so that it follows a narrative, but going in you didn't go in with a narrative in mind?
No, no, I didn't go in with a
No.
narrative in mind, and it can be listened to. Yeah, you can listen to individual tracks
Mm,
and get an experience, I hope. So for us, it was more about
mm,
looking at the songs afterwards, and then like looking for patterns,
mm.
um, and yeah, that eventually like led to the album title.
Nice, 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 nice. How much time was it between this latest album and the previous album? Remind me again. How long was it?
I think it's been 3 years.
3 years.
Um, so that seems to be our
Yeah,
go to
yeah,
uh, period
yeah. So for
between
you, yeah,
album releases.
Yeah. So for you guys, is it like release the album, promote the album for about a year, and then do you get back in sort of doing all your magic things within 2 years, or how have
Yeah,
you
back
even
in the
already started?
tool shed.
Thinking of the next one, like
I've done that a little bit
yeah,
actually. Um, I think it was difficult after Witness because it
mm,
came out during the pandemic,
mm,
and that sort of pushed everything.
yeah, mm,
Like the touring got pushed a bit into the future.
yeah,
So it was difficult for me at least, to figure out when this album cycle was over and
yeah,
when it was
yeah,
time to
yeah,
write new stuff. So that made the process a bit confusing, I
yeah,
think. But like usually it is about, yeah, releasing an album, touring a lot, and then trying to sort of end that chapter and then
yeah,
begin thinking about what should come next. What are
yeah,
we hungry for now?
yeah, yeah. I can imagine. I can imagine. What is your favorite part of the album process? Is it making it? Is it recording it? Touring?
Um, it's uh, it's it is writing the songs. I'm
Oh,
pretty sure about that. Like I just had to think about it because I really love being on stage also. But writing the songs
oh,
is very special to me, and I can feel when I do it that that's that's the sort of foundation
mm,
for doing
oh,
this. Because the feeling you get when you write something that you resonate with
mm,
yourself, and and that maybe can explain an emotion that
oh,
you can't explain in words. That's a powerful moment, I think.
mm,
So it's just creating music and feeling like you're a fan of the things you create.
oh,
I
yeah,
think that's a nice experience.
yeah,
Then after it has been can be, have been recorded, I don't really listen to it anymore. But I like in that creation process to just really
yeah,
dive into it fully.
yeah,
So that's a nice sort of playground.
oh,
Um, and then recording it can be fun, and it's nice to see all the pieces come
mm,
together, but it's also just a lot of work, I think.
yeah, yeah,
So that like the creativity is not so prominent there.
yeah,
It's more about just doing things over and over again,
mm,
and that can be tiring.
yeah, for sure.
So I think for me, it's songwriting first, then touring, and then recording. That would be my ranking.
Yeah, I do wonder if anyone has recording as their number one, and what kind of person that would be.
Yes, exactly.
Is there any song on the album that you had the demo and it completely changed to what the final result is now? And what is the thing that usually changes by the time
Yeah.
you've reached?
I don't think we had that, but like the song "Bleed Out"
Mm,
was actually finished uh, after the drum recordings.
really?
We spent the last day of drum recording some drums for it,
Mm,
um, because we needed that ninth song, and we were a bit under time pressure, and we had sort of an idea about how Bleed Out could sound, but it
mm,
wasn't finished. So we just uh, like recorded lots of drum parts in the studio,
nice.
and then we sort of um, yeah, finished the song afterwards and like picked out the drum parts that we needed.
Mm,
Uh, it was I think we pretty much finished it at the studio actually, but
nice.
um, it was a special process because
Mm,
normally we're very prepared when we go in and record drums.
mm,
So it was kind of frightening to sit there and actually compose while we recorded.
yeah.
But I'm really proud of how the song turned out. So
Yeah, man.
I'm glad we did it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. For sure. That's one of them that when I first heard it, it immediately hit me with, it starts off quite synthy and quite electronic, and then it just hits you with the heavy breakdown.
Yeah, we can't help it. It's
Yeah,
I just love extremes in
yeah.
music.
They're always the songs that go
So
the hardest live as well. Just you just
yeah.
as an audience member, you're just there in the crowd, just waiting. You're like, oh my god, it's coming, any
Yeah,
minute now.
yeah, yeah. It's the same feeling on stage when we play.
Yeah,
Like there's always that anticipation of a heavy riff
hell
coming
yeah,
up, so that always feels good.
hell yeah. Is that like one of your favorite things live? Is when you get them heavy riffs and you all just know
Yeah,
you killed it. You're all just looking at each other like, fuck
yeah. It feels good, and
yeah.
yeah, it's a nice like it just feels nice to hit bang too.
Hell
It's
yeah,
it feels like flying in a way,
hell
especially
yeah,
for the slower songs because your body moves so slowly.
hell yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool feeling.
Hell yeah. Right, Sarah, I think we've only got about 2 minutes left, so we'll wrap it up so I'm not like cutting you off mid question.
All good, all good.
So, download wise, do you guys know what day you're on yet?
Um,
Is it a
yeah, but I
Saturday?
can't remember on the top of my head,
I feel like it's a
unfortunately.
Saturday. I think it's a Saturday or a Sunday, so that's exciting for the people in the UK. And you're currently finishing off this tour as well. That'll
Yes,
finish soon. It finishes in Europe, doesn't it? And then don't you
yeah,
go?
it's
Do you go to Australia, or did I imagine that? Or have I got it confused?
well, it's like we're talking about
Ooh,
where to bring this album.
ooh.
But yeah, we can't like it like all everything is possible at this point. But
Oh,
I
exciting,
can't
exciting. Nice.
I can't promise anything.
Oh, well, hopefully it all turns out okay for any Aussie fans. um, but yeah.
Yeah, would
Do you
be
have any
awesome.
final words to say to people? Obviously, stream the new album. If you can catch them live, catch them live. I don't know when this interview goes
Yes.
out, so it may be completely past the time. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Thanks for listening
you
and
guys will have more dates in the future, live
yeah.
dates. Keep an eye out.
Yes.
Oh
All
yeah.
that.
Stream straight lines. Keep streaming
Yes, it
that.
yes. Exactly.
And nice, yeah. Check out album first song to last. And what kind of setting should someone be in when they're listening to this album? Should they, be in a dark room, glass of wine?
That sounds pretty good, I think. Um, like I always love like walking
Walking, okay.
with in ear headphones, walking in the city, for example, or
Nice.
by the sea.
Okay, there you
So
go.
yeah, choose your favorite setting and
Yeah,
press play.
there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you for joining me today. And hopefully this interview won't take too long to go. And have a good gig.